Welcome everybody to another video of Dead by Day. My name is Cubeproductions. Today we're using Skull Merchant as always. We're using a really interesting build. We're using the perk Blood Echo, one of my favorite perks actually in the entire game, but it's really hard to use. What this perk does, after you hook a survivor, all other survivors become hemorrhaged and exhausted for 45 seconds, but then this perk has a 60-second cooldown for some reason. And the reason why the perk is really useful is because you can get people basically mangled / injured, like with Scorch Gift of Pain, making them already hemorrhaged and mangled, making it take longer for them to heal. So most likely we're going to hook them on a Scorch Hook using Gift of Pain. They're going to have a 16% debuff to healing, and then they're going to also be hemorrhaged and exhausted because of Blood Echo. We have Scorch Pain Resonance, of course, so we can make the generators with the most progress lose 25%. Corrupt Intervention to block gens, and Bio Targeting Processor, plus of course our Brown Noise Journey, make them oblivious and catch them off guard. While I was explaining the perks and everything in the game plan of the actual video, Dwight literally just got destroyed by my Skull Merchant because he just got chased down so fast that chase didn't last very long at all. And the only problem with this is the same way how I just explained how how Corrupt Intervention is. I kind of like got rid of a Corrupt Intervention because I hooked them so fast. And I kind of hate that Corrupt Intervention goes away after you do that, but it kind of makes sense. So right here I put a drone up here because I knew the girl was probably going to be on that generator. Now I didn't expect a sprint burst, but I did expect her to be on the generator. So now she has one lock on stack, so I'm like prepared mentally to understand like, okay, one lock on stack, 2 more to go. Now she has 2 lock on stack, so I know that this girl's gonna have a 3rd lock on stack eventually and get a claw trap. So I'm worried she's gonna go towards this pallet, but instead she goes towards the window. And I was like, oh, that should be easy, because I know she doesn't have enough time to make it to the pallet if I use the drop down tech. Basically, if you attack while you're in midair, you fall down faster. Well, not fall down faster, you recover faster from the fall, which is really good. So I know she was going to be able to make that pallet no matter what. And as a result, I don't even have to worry about the god pallet, or at least right now I don't. So I'm going to go back towards the generator, because I probably know they're going to be on that generator, and I thought so. The generator lost a bunch of progress thanks to the Scorch Pain Resonance, but I know someone was there because of the fact that it was not regressing anymore. So right here, I see this is Kate, and I'm like, oh, okay, you got rid of my drone, I'll just replace that. Then he did a 360, and I got completely confused, kind of bad at the game. And as a result, I don't know where she is. But then I'm going to mind game this pallet. I'm just going to hit right through it. She's going to vault on the other side. Then flashlight me for some reason, like she knows, like she's good at the game. So I was like, okay. So I'm going to mind game this. And as a result, I'm able to hit her. And I'm like, why'd you flashlight me if you're just going to die? Like, I don't understand why survivors do that if it is going to die in 4 seconds. So as a result, I'm going to hook her on a Scorch Hook. And as you can see, I'm kind of wasting all my Scorch Hook Pain Resonances. But every time I do it, I activate Scorch Hook Gift of Pain, so they automatically become mangled and hemorrhaged once they get unhooked, and they do generator slower, which is really good. And that also activates my Blood Echo. Now, I don't know, of course, if you know in the comments, please let me know. I don't know if, what's it called? If Blood Echo works on survivors who basically were injured and then they just got healed. I don't know if they're still going to be exhausted. I feel like it would. Like, I feel like it would make a lot of sense for Blood Echo to be like, well, because they got exhausted and hemorrhaged, but then they got healed, they're no longer exhausted and hemorrhaged. I don't think that makes a lot of sense, but I don't know. So right here, I get completely lost, and I'm thinking this girl is behind this, like, pillar, but I'm just so oblivious to everything around me, so I'm like, she has been behind that pillar. There's no way she just went somewhere else. So I checked for, like, 3 hours, and then I realized, yep, I'm blind. And she went around the loop a second time, but I didn't notice it. So as a result, I don't know where she is. And then the crow went away, so I'm thinking she's still there. So I waste like 30 seconds checking this thing for absolutely no reason. Sometimes that happens because like the game will basically give you scratch marks in a certain direction, and then the game won't, like the scratch marks won't appear right when the survivor runs. It'll appear like a second or maybe a second and a half after they run, and that's kind of annoying. Because sometimes you think they're going one way and then they go a different direction. So right here, I'm going to hit this guy. But then also I see that, I don't know why he threw the pad. I think I mind gamed him. But I didn't expect him to throw the pad like that. So that was kind of funny. But I did mind game him. So right here, I'm going to hit Dwight. But I want to go after the girl who has a cloud up on her. I don't know why the Dwight is teabagged for some reason. And then he gets obliterated again. Because these people really like teabagging and flashlighting. But then they die. I don't understand. But I guess that's survivors work. It is really, really weird. But also, we need to make sure that we hook everyone on score trick so we can activate our what's it called, Blood Favor. So now that Blood Favor is activated, we now are gonna have the ability to make sure everyone's hemorrhage and exhausted. So because he's exhausted, I know he doesn't have live, or he can't use his live. I know he can't use really any perk that work if he's exhausted. And I'm kind of afraid of a Dead Hard, but he doesn't have Dead Hard. So I was like, yes. And then I completed my challenge too, because in this video I had a challenge where I had to, I believe, chase the rabbits for 120 seconds. Which was really easy to do with Storm Merchant, because all you do is chase. And the chases can sometimes take a long time. But I really love Blood Echo. I had Blood Favorite. I'm stupid. I really love Blood Echo. Blood Echo is one of my favorite perks. It just, I don't know. I feel like on Storm Merchant is not. On Storm Merchant is pretty useful because Storm Merchant can get people injured really easily, and then also she can keep you injured because you're gonna be broken. But then also I feel like it's not that useful because the same way how it says Storm Merchant can get you injured really easily, she also doesn't really gain much out of them being hemorrhaged. Well, kind of. She doesn't really gain that much out of them being hemorrhaged, but also she doesn't really gain that much out of them being exhausted because she doesn't really move across the entire map very fast. Like for example, if you're fighting against a Blight and you get them hemorrhaged, of course you're gonna have a really good time. Also right here he had balance landing, but it didn't matter because of the fact that he I was right on top of him, so he died. And then he left the game because he's like, I lose, and I'm like, yep. Because I was gonna kill him because I know he's dead on hook, so I went after him first, and now he's dead. And now we have to worry about 3 more people who are gonna probably do the generators before I even get to them. But as you can see, one person failed a skill check, so I know exactly where to go. And then Blood Echo activated, so I know the second girl is now exhausted, and she can't use her exhaustion perks, which is really good. It's really useful in Chase, Blood Echo, because if you can find the person who's exhausted and you can go after them, and you're like, okay, I know you're injured, I know you're exhausted, I don't have to worry about you anymore. But it's also annoying because it's like, okay, I have to play perfectly, and I have to find the person who I know is exhausted, and it doesn't always work that way. It's really good against altruistic teams because they'll body block for each other. They don't care if they're injured or not. They'll always body block. So right here, I'm afraid of a Dead Hard, so I don't swing. But in reality, I should have swung right there because he didn't have Dead Hard before, so I don't know why I decided not to swing right there. And as a result, he gets a lot more distance than I expected. But luckily for me, he does get a claw trap on him, so I can use my drone and slow him down. I know he's gonna draw the paladin down because he has to, or he's gonna die. I need to get rid of a drone and slow him down. But right here, I thought I would hit him, but I missed. I'm bad. Then they do another generator while I'm doing this, so I'm like, okay, fine, drone. So I put a drone up, and he's smart, and he realizes that it's gonna slow him down, so he decides to run away. But sadly for him, there's no more pallets, so he dies. And then also, even if he had that hard, he can't use it because of the fact that I had a claw trap on him and he already was mangled, I believe. So because of that reason, he can't even use that heart. Not mangled, he was already in deep wound. Then luckily for me, I get a Blood Echo and someone gets a claw trap on them. So because of that reason, they're gonna be oblivious and don't know where I'm coming from. And of course, the girl I've chased though is not the girl with the claw trap on her, so it's kind of a problem because I have to get a claw trap on her when I slow her down. Luckily for me, I get a claw trap on her, and then she vaults the window. I mean, she vaults the pallet. Then the not Leon, what's his name? Then Nicholas Cage is like, yeah, that happened, and I'm like, yes. So now I'm gonna down her, and then I'm gonna try and find the girl who is claw trap, and then she walks around in front of me, and I'm like, what? But I think she had Dead Hard, so she was like. So even though she was claw trapped, she wasn't she didn't have the deep wound effect on her yet, so she was still able to use her Dead Hard. Because the way it works is if you're deep wounded and you try and use Dead Hard or any perk in general that would give you endurance, it does not work. Because endurance puts you in the deep wound state, like just how I hit Nicolas Cage. Endurance puts you in the deep wound state, but if you're already deep wounded, you can't be deep wounded a second time, which is a good thing. Because if you could, that would be absolutely busted. So that's the reason why I say Scroll Merchant is pretty good against Dead Hard and pretty good in situations where they're going to be injured and or hit with the, what's it called, deep wound stats effect. Because you kind of just win. Also right here, I don't know what he was doing. I think he just like either gave up or he thought I was going to go around the house, but I don't know what he was doing. But I'm going to hook him right in the basement. And then as I do that, they're going to rescue Kate. And I'm like, dang it. So now I got to go all the way back over there. And the thing I hate about Blood Echo, like I told you, it has a cooldown. I can kind of see why now that I'm using it, why it has a cooldown, because of the fact that it kind of like Imagine it didn't have a cooldown. Every time I hook a survivor, every injured survivor becomes exhausted. You don't get to use your exhaustion perks anymore. That would be kind of a little busted, just a little bit. But at that same time, I know this girl has a off the record, by the way. That's the reason why I don't attack her. I can tell. You can tell someone has off the record if they what's it called? Don't make any like groans of pain like while they're injured. But the second I get her mangled, which I will get her mangled eventually, she's like clogged up on her now. I don't get her mangled. Not mangled. I keep saying mangled. Deep wounded, and now she's dead. I don't know why I keep saying mangled. I'm so used to calling it mangled, even though it's not ever been called mangled before. But it's called deep wounded. I don't get her deep wounded, and now she's dead. I just showed you right there, right then and there. That's how deep wound works. If you're deep wounded, you cannot use that hard. If you're deep wounded, your endurance effect goes away. It's amazing, and that's I don't know why. I think she didn't know that I knew that, and like I'm a smart player. Like, I play Scrum Merchant a lot. I kind of have a little too many hours on her, if I'm being honest. But I play Scrum Merchant a lot. I know this girl's gonna probably find that hatch because, honestly, I have no idea where the hatch spawns in this map. To be fair, the hatch spawns at a random location always anyway, but I just do not know in any possible way where this hatch spawns. I've never played on this map. It's kind of sad. So right here, I'm going to see scratch marks, put a drone in the main building just because why not? And then not in the main building, the shack. But I'm almost certain to look at the hatch because I don't know where it is. And I'm kind of waiting for her to do it. And then she does it. And I'm like, okay, it's fine. So now we're going to go to the next game because of the fact that this game was a really big success. I'm a little surprised, honestly, how well I did. Because I was not expecting to do that well with Blood Echo. Because Blood Echo, like I told you, is not the best perk. But like I did and like I showed you, you can counter off the record with Scrum Merchant. Now, of course, it would have been faster to just hit her and then chase her, but I just wanted to show you all that really cool interaction. But let's go to the next game so I can show you how great this build is. Okay, play on the game. Before this game starts, I just wanted to say if you like the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I love reading y'all's comments, so comment literally anything. It doesn't even matter if it's like negative, I just want to hear it. I just love reading y'all's comments. Well, I say that, but there was one comment I got where someone was like, it wasn't negative, I don't think, because when I responded, he was like, I play Scrum Merchant purposely, so I understand how to beat Scrum Merchant. I was right here, it was the most obvious play ever. I knew he was standing right there, because if I didn't hear you fall, I know you're going to be in the corner, so it's kind of obvious. But anyway, again, another game where I lose my corrupt intervention immediately, because I down someone so fast. Like, it's kind of insane. But I saw someone commented saying when I see Scrum Merchant I DC. No, yeah, whenever you play against Scrum Merchant, the best place to just DC. And I was like, that's why I win. And then he had said, I believe, he plays Scrum Merchant to understand how to go against Scrum Merchant because he's solo queues, I think he said. And I'm like, yep, I understand your pain and suffering. I actually don't fight against Scrum Merchant ever when I play Survivor because Scrum Merchant is not a popular killer. In case you don't know, I think I said it before in my video, Scrum Merchant has the highest win rate of any killer in the game. But the reason why her win rate is so high is not because of the fact that, oh, she's busted. It's literally because of the fact that half the time people DC against her. So if someone DCs against a Scrum Merchant, they end up just, if someone DCs against a Scrum Merchant, of course she'll kill them, and that's the free down. So because so many people DC against her, she's going to have the highest win rate in the game. So I kind of hope, really hope that Behavior doesn't nerf Scrum Merchant again because they think that she's broken, all because of the fact that a few people are saying, a lot of people are saying she's strong, and then her win rate is super high. Because I know Behavior is like, the numbers matter, but the problem is sometimes the numbers matter, but the numbers aren't always right. If that makes sense. And like, the numbers are right in this case, but it's like, just because of the fact that her win rate is so high doesn't actually mean that she's the best. She's really good. The same way how Nurse pick rate and win rate isn't high, but we all know Nurse is the best killer in the game. So it is stuff like that that kind of I hope Behavior doesn't like just completely destroy her. So right here, I'm kind of taking my time chasing this survivor who's dropping every single pallet in the entire map. I can tell this girl's a good looper, but I also can tell she's one of those survivors who's like, if I drop every pallet, I'll win. But I'm one of those killers who's like, I don't really care if you drop every single pallet, eventually I will catch you. So right here, I thought she's going to drop it, and she does. But then I'm like, okay, I can catch her off guard. And right here, I catch her off guard by going around the other way. So now I can go back and break all those pallets if I really want to, but right now I'm not going to. I was hoping a score trick would be close, and luckily for me, it is. when I play on the game, my score triggers are almost always in the right spot. Meanwhile, if I play on RPD, my score triggers are in the worst spots ever, and then I end up just playing like an idiot. I literally have a game coming up where I actually use a different killer, by the way. So make sure you stay tuned for that. I want y'all to guess in the comments what killer I'm gonna be playing next. So I plan to play 2 different killers. Also, notice how I put the drone right there and the drone didn't appear. I really hope Behavior fixes that bug, because that's actually the most infuriating thing ever, to just not get locked on stack on someone, all because of the fact that the game's like, no. So right here, I'm gonna see him vault the window. If I was playing a survivor, I would have vaulted the window back to double back, but instead he had to go left, which really confused me, considering how I was already going left. So I was like, this guy's not looking behind him, I can tell. But then I'm like, okay, I'm trying to catch him off guard. But then it hit me. There's another pallet I didn't break. Also, this guy fell from the sky and he's oblivious, so I'm like, okay. So I know clearly where to go. But then the guy who with a claw trap on him is oblivious. He's across the map. The guy I'm chasing, however, is not oblivious, but luckily for me, the pallet is too far away and I'm going to hook him right here. Normally when I play Score Merchant, if you want some Score Merchant tips, by the way, make sure you watch my videos and subscribe for more. If you don't want Score Merchant tips, subscribe anyway. But my point is, a lot of people hate Score Merchant, whether it's a killer, whether they're playing her or they're playing against her. But there's some really cool tips to understanding how to play her. Like for example, I almost always use Brown Noise Generator as my add-on choice because of the reason we use her right there. Basically, I injure a survivor with a claw trap, whether it's by accident or on purpose. If it's on purpose, I'll just leave them. If I really don't feel like chasing them, I'll just leave them. Because I know they're oblivious, they can't hear my terror radius. Because in case you don't know, Brown Noise Generator makes them oblivious. When you're oblivious, you don't hear the killer terror radius anymore. So, because of that reason, I can just leave the survivor. I like how this guy's like, okay, you mind game me, I lose. I'm like, yep. So, right here, I'm going to kick the generator. Just make it regress a little bit because I want to make sure I'm ahead. Even though I'm already kind of ahead, they've only done 1 gen. I've put like 4 people, which is really good. But, like I was saying, I make them oblivious, and then I do what I just did right there, where basically I go attack the survivor who I know is on the generator, and as a result, they don't know where I'm coming from. Right here, I know this girl's gonna draw this pallet, so I'm like, I'm prepared for that, but it's kind of fine with me because this god pallet is annoying. The game, in case you didn't know, this map is basically god pallet after god pallet after god pallet, and the only way to beat it is if you're playing nurse. But you're playing nurse or maybe Chucky. Even Chucky struggles with them too, because Chucky, first you have to let them drop it on you, and then after they drop it, you have to use your power. But nurse can just be like, teleport, I win. But this map is extremely just pallet heavy. Right here, I just look at the guy like, yeah, no, I'm not even gonna break this pallet. I know I can mind game this eventually. I just gotta figure out how to do it. So I'm gonna try to mind game it, but then I see someone's claw trap, so immediately I just give up the chase and I go after the guy who I know is oblivious. So one thing, Behavior, I really hope you buff Score Merchant in this regard. Not really even a big buff, just do this one thing I asked for. Also, I'm gonna hit this guy. Can you please, Behavior, I don't know if you're gonna or if anyone who even watch, like, everyone even likes Score Merchant at this point, but one buff I would really give Score Merchant is this. Can you make it so that way on the radar, every single survivor is color coded? So the first survivor, he'll appear on the radar as a red dot, a red square. Second survivor appears as a yellow square. Well, not really yellow because the radar is yellow. But let's say he appears as a blue square. The third survivor appears as a green square, and the fourth survivor appears as a purple square, something like that. Can you please make it so that way it does that? And the reason why I want that is because of the fact that sometimes you're playing Score Merchant and you get 3 people on the radar and you literally don't know which one's which. And I really hope they listen to this small little change. And I don't even think, honestly, it's broken or a big deal or a big change. The reason why I want it is because I feel like when I get someone on the radar so I can purposely go after them, the whole point of the killer, I want to make sure I know who I'm going after. Because the fact that I'll get like 3 different options, but yet I don't see it. And I kind of feel like it's a really, really easy change to do. Like, all you have to do is be like, okay, player 1, 2, 3, 4, in that order, whatever order it is with the survivor and or whoever the survivor and or the killer. And then you see that, oh, okay, I know that player 1 is gonna be blue. So then when they go on the radar and they get located, you know it's player 1. Like, that's all I want. And it's kind of hard to tell because there'll be 3 people with claw traps and you don't know where to go because you don't know which one is which. And that's kind of a big deal, but I kind of hope they fix that. It's a really simple change, and I honestly feel like they can do it, but I honestly feel like it's not going to happen because sometimes behavior just takes a long time to do certain things. Now, right here, luckily for me, there's no gob high right here, but I knew he had off the record. I didn't hear him groaning in pain, but I didn't care because if you notice, they've only done 1 gen. And I've been like on a steamroll. Sometimes when I play Scar Merchant, I end up doing this really cool thing where I end up just snowballing the game and destroying them all. Right here, I know he's gonna get a claw trap, which he does it. So I'm going to make him drop the pallet. So I'm gonna make him go around at me and try and down him. But the plan actually was for him to get a claw trap, make him go around the pallet, and then because he's claw trap, he'll move 10% slower, well 13% slower actually, thanks to my bio targeting processor. And then because he moves 10% slower, he ends up, I'll end up chasing him and downing him. But instead, I just mind game him the wrong way. But yes, I'll be playing a new killer soon. I'll be posting that video very soon. This killer is one of my favorite killers, and I plan to make videos of Scar Merchant and of that killer. But I play that killer kind of a certain way, so expect a lot of L's. But actually, the video that I posted, I've been playing with the killer. I actually won with the killer, but in the videos. But because I don't have every single perk on that killer compared to Scar Merchant, I have to use my blood points sadly to make it so that way they had every perk in the game, and I still don't even have every perk in the game. So when you watch the video, you're gonna notice that like some of my perks are green, and that's kind of if I'm being honest, but this is what happens when you spend all your blood points on Scar Merchant, because you already got everyone else Prestige 3 and you're like, Prestige 1 and you're like, yeah, no. I actually plan to get every single killer Prestige 3, because the way it works is, if you get a killer Prestige 1, that makes so that way all their perks automatically appear in the blood web, in the blood web of other killers, and they can get the perks. If they get Prestige 2, I believe that every other killer automatically gets their Prestige, gets their perks. If they're Prestige 3, I believe every killer just automatically gets their level 2 perks, and if they're 3, they get their level whatever it's called perks. I think that's how that works. I could be wrong about that. While I was just talking, because I knew the next part of this match would be really boring. Right here, I don't know why he even fell for that, honestly, but I down him, and normally I'll pick him up, but because I know that girl is here, and she's gonna most likely try and do that, drop the pallet on me, I'll wait for her to drop the pallet first, and then I'll pick him up, because that way I don't have to worry about getting pallet slammed and having to chase him for an extra hour. So because of that reason, I did everything correctly, and now he's going to die. And lastly, all I had to do is find his last person, and Blood Echo really came in handy this entire game because they were all exhausted and they couldn't use any exhaustion perks. Now that I think about it, I don't think I saw them using a single exhaustion perk. At least, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I saw a single one. I didn't see a sprint burst. I don't think I saw a live. It was really just exhaustion the entire time, unless they don't have any exhaustion perks, but I didn't see anything. You also can use the exhaustion add-on that Storm Merchant has instead of called Loose Screw, instead of using this perk. But the exhaustion add-on only lasts for 6 seconds, and then this one lasts for 45 seconds. Also, another thing you have to understand, when a survivor is exhausted, if they run, the exhaustion side effect does not go away. So because of that reason, they technically could be exhausted for the entirety of the game if I just chased them for a long time and they never got out and never went away. So because of that reason, I was prepared mentally. So right here, I don't know why this guy didn't know where I was coming from. I was unattainable for a little bit, but I was also, but then eventually my unattainable went away. So I'm a little confused as to how he didn't notice I was there. But then I go the wrong way and I'm like, dang it. But I'm going to mind game this pallet, and then for some reason he gets caught and he goes downstairs again instead of going around. I know he doesn't have off the record anymore because I believe off the record only works once. And I also know he doesn't have Dead Heart. So I'm going to down him, and now I have one more person to kill, and that's just the girl who's been like actually the most annoying in the entire game. So I'm trying to figure out where she is, and she's just over here. They did a few gens while I was chasing people, but it didn't really matter because once you get to the end of the game, no matter what killer you're playing, it's kind of impossible to win. So right here, luckily for me, she's in a spot where I know the hatch won't spawn, I believe. But she probably went right here because she knows that, like, of all the locations in the game, this is to be the hardest for her to, like, get down at. So right here, I'm gonna break this pallet, and then sadly, the claw trap goes away. The one time I actually used the add-on Supercharge to make the claw trap last longer, but sadly the claw trap goes away. So my plan was to claw trap her, and then use my drone to slow her down. But instead, I just chased her and killed her. So right here, I was going to. He was trying to make me fall down the hole, and I was like, yeah, no, I don't do that. I would never do that. Even though, now that I think about it, when I played with the other killer, I did fall down the hole. But yes, stay tuned for many more videos in the future. If you're a returning viewer, I thank you so much. I hope you had a happy new year. If you have any New Year's resolution, make sure you tell me what you did or what you're planning on doing for this year. I had a really good New Year's. It was really simple. I just said happy New Year's to my family, and I, love them. That's all that really happened. But basically, my New Year's resolution is to focus on college and my YouTube. Now, of course, as y'all know, college comes first, YouTube comes second. I'm sorry, but at the same time, I want to focus on both as much as possible because I really want to get my college. I really want to get through college, and I also really want to make my YouTube channel grow even more. I love building a community and having lots of fun. Even if you hate Score Merchant, I still want you here. So make sure that you subscribe if you haven't. But yes, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I thank you to everyone who subscribed, and thank you for everyone having a great year with me. And there'll be more videos in the future, more killers hopefully will be used, and we'll have lots of fun. I'll see y'all in the next video. Have a nice day.